Week after week, the Newgate proves me wrong. This show, which started as junk food, has quickly impressed me in the past month of going, wasn't expecting to enjoy this one this much. And I think I'm at the point now of I hope it gets a season 2. I think the best comparison I can give is that at the end of the day, anyone who says they don't like junk food, I think is a liar. Sure, there's certain people who like it more than others, but everyone has some sort of sweet treat or form of junk food they enjoy, and I think that also goes for the entertainment we consume. So, I was looking at the Newgate as a bag of Doritos. I love me a good bag of Cool Ranch, but I'm not gonna say Cool Ranch Doritos are a good meal. It's a snack, it's a little thing, and that's kind of how I was like, it's my Saturday dessert. But now I feel like the Newgate is best described as a burger and fries. I'm still not saying it's the best meal of all time, but it's a pretty damn freaking good meal at the current stage that it's at. And the way they took this, video game turned into an actual reality, usually every episode now, there's something about it that impresses me, and in this episode, it's how the mechanics are still kind of there when it comes to the whole, Shimmer transferring ownership plotline. That is a straight up video game mechanic, but it's so interesting how it doesn't feel like it's trying to be a video game, but it's just how would a video game become reality if something like this happened and the influences are still there. It's so good right now. My biggest complaint is I kind of wish it looked more similar to something like level 2 super cheat powers from this season. I think that art style would be more visually interesting than the current one, but the show ain't looking bad, and honestly, for as big of a big bad beast as we had, I'm surprised there wasn't a 3D mess of a monstrosity, but I was very wrong with my early impressions thinking it was junk food. Maybe the first few episodes still could be classified as that, but the show's definitely become anything but. Full live reactions to the Newgate, though, over on my Patreon if you want to see my full and good thought to this or any of these episodes. It's going to be over there exclusively. So, we got a new pet. We already had Yuzuha, which has been adorable, and now we have a giant beast. Because Schnee doesn't understand composure or, how to blend in. But then again, look at her master. He pulls out Excalibur or a fortune to give to a general clerk for the most basic of payments. So I guess it kind of runs in the family, but I love Tiara and her what is wrong with you reactions. It's always glorious. So we end up purchasing a cart. And it's a very heavy one, so most likely you need 2 or 3 horses to probably pull that thing. But monsters are also on the table. Most people don't do that because most people can't tame monsters. That's all well and good. Our lovable elf, Clifford the big red dog of monsters, she tames that beast and says, "I got you, boss." And I love how the both of them are kind of like, what? Because immediately I'm thinking, if this thing can't change size, it ain't gonna work. That thing was 30 feet tall. Even if you had a harness with a leash that could connect from its top standing up, the cart would just be waving in the air as it was running. So thank God it can shrink down in size. But it's interesting because there's actually an emotional connection to Tiara, which surprised me because I thought what they were actually implying at first when he's like, oh, the dog or the beast, whatever you want to call this thing, was oh, I connected because of the smell of Tiara. It reminds me of someone in the past. I was thinking her mom or something. I don't know. Because basically what ended up happening, this creature Shimmer and the mom of Shimmer were basically, the mom died because some adventurer killed back in the day and only the pup survived. Turns out, Tiara, 100 years ago, whatever, basically cared for what she thought was a little puppy, turns out to be this creature. And in doing so, we transfer ownership over. And this is where it gets really cool to me, and these are the details I love about this show. Whether it's the NPCs starting as NPCs and then gaining their own consciousness and reality and realizing that they're a real person now, to what is essentially a video game mechanic. So in normal circumstances, it's hard to imagine Tiara would be able to have ownership over something. It's kind of yeah, you might have 3 gym badges, but are you really going to be able to use Articuno? Probably not. But if Articuno had an emotional connection to you and willingly obeyed you, sure. That's kind of the best way. It's you're way early into a Pokemon gym, but you have a legendary Pokemon because it trusts you. And that's a cool detail because, this shouldn't just be able to be controlled by anyone. Our Central 2, Schnee, or even Shin, sure, I can see either one of them being strong enough because of their levels and everything. Tiara, while not weak, I don't think she would be able to do that without the connection. That's exactly what they were implying, and I kind of like it because it makes more sense not only on the emotional level for her to have ownership, it also makes sense on a practical level. If all three of them were to get split up and having to defend by themselves, you can assume our other two can do just fine. She could also probably do fine, but she's easily the weakest out of the three, and the fact that she can now summon it wherever she is will give her a guard dog, so to speak. I do hope that she's not the last one, because right now we have Yuzuha, which is clearly bonded with Shin. We have Shimmer, who's now bonded with Tiara. Give Shni something. A bird, a marmot, I don't care. Give her something, because I need to have all three of them have a pet, because it is just gonna be so cute. But this is what I mean, like this show, what happened this episode? Let's really simplify it. We entered a new city. We spent half of our money on a room of a size we didn't need. We bought a cart. We tamed a beast, and we got a little bit of backstory, and they end the episode with a man who should be long dead. So I'm thinking this man should be in a goddamn wheelchair by now, but somehow he's like, hey, master, welcome to my place. This dude has lived far too long. I don't understand it, but I guess it leads to more credibility of why we didn't have to rush to meet him. We could take our time. But, like, it doesn't sound like much happened on paper. But I'm still at the point of not feeling like these episodes feel like full-length episodes. I don't think it feels like 5-minute episodes, but like, if you told me that I watched 12, 13 minutes, sure, but like, not the full 20 minutes. This show is oddly good. I'm not saying it's a masterpiece, I'm not saying it's amazing. Pretty damn good burger and fries meal. I'm not gonna live off burger and fries, but damn do I enjoy them. And this show has went from, I'm not really gonna recommend it to people, in terms of like, hey, there's plenty of shit to watch, to a show I'm like, actually, you might want to try this one out because it's surprisingly good. It's not even decent anymore, it's good, it's just enjoyable. Really, the visuals are the only thing that leave a lot to be desired. And I've kind of grown used to them at this point, so even that's not bothering me as much, but I'm not going to say like the show's perfect, and like that's the biggest thing, is that I think any other studio might have produced something better visually looking, but it ain't ugly, which is good. I mean, has anyone seen the 3D that the Misfit Demon King Academy, I think it's part 2 of season 2, like what they've been doing? We could have way worse. So I'm not even complaining to the point of like, god damn, it's ugly. I'm just saying I would prefer it to look better, but it ain't the CG from Misfit Demon King Academy, so that's all I'm saying. It could be worse, so count your blessings. But obviously, I've been having a fun time. Maybe this show will become a full steak meal for me by the end. I don't know, but I'm enjoying it with where it's at. Let me know what you're feeling, though, down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new around here. Of course, ring that bell so you know if I want to upload more. And like I mentioned, we got those full live reactions over on Patreon. And hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout out. So today, we have One Up Annie, Demon69C, Wade Smith, Varsula Granada, Gabby G, and we also have Attack Owl. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care and have a good one.